welcome back. So another video session related to the database management system is one of the important concept in DBMS. We have to discuss it today. Okay. So the topic is file-based processing when compared with database. Okay, file-based processing compared with the database system. So file-based processing is a predecessor of the database system. File-based processing is the predecessor of the database system. So what is the file-based processing and what is a database? So file-based processing is nothing but collection of information stored in a particular location. Collection of information stored in a particular location. So if you are aware of the file system, we get one question. So what is the question is, what is the difference between file-based processing and the database? So both purposes are same. So what is the purpose of file-based processing and database? File-based processing is used to store the data, and whereas database is also used to store the data. Then what is the difference between? Okay, so file-based processing, nothing but how data is stored in the hard disk. How data is stored in the hard disk. So the way of writing the data, the way of reading the data is performed by file-based processing and file-based. Okay, so with the help of the file system, we can create a file within the computer system. Okay, so other than the database. Okay, so whenever we are installing the operating system, it's automatically install the file processing system. No need to install it separately. Okay, if you are install the Windows operating system, the operating system automatically install the file system. Okay, so Windows file system called NTFS. NTFS. What is NTFS? New Technology File System. The file system name is New Technology File System. Whenever we install the Linux operating system, the name of the file system is EXT. EXT, Extensible File System. Okay, so Extendable Technology File System we are using. Okay, so what is the main difference between the file system and the database? Let us discuss with an example. Suppose if I create one file by using Notepad. So assume that this is a Notepad. I am storing the information, one serial number, so name, some name I am storing, Lakshman. Okay, so this is the file. So where this file is stored in the hard disk. Okay, so this file is stored in the hard disk. So this is the hard disk. So this file is stored in the hard disk via file system. Via file system. So file system, what is the file system? If you are using Windows operating system, the file system name is NTFS. So New Technology File System. So the file interacts with the file system. The file system is moved your file to hard disk. Okay, not only moving, if you are accessing the file, if you are opening a file, so the hard disk first goes to file system and then next displays on the screen. So this is the actual process done in the computers. Okay. So file, we are creating a file, it interacts with the file system and then next it stores on the hard disk. So without a file system, your computer files are having only one file. Okay. So it is unable to access the file. So it is unable to read the file in the file system. Okay. So this is the actual process done in the file system. What about database? What about database? So if you are installing any one of the DBMS software, so we have various DBMS softwares are there. Okay. So what are the various DBMS softwares we have? So Oracle, DB2, MySQL. Okay. So already you know. So for example, I want to install Oracle. So with the help of this DBMS software, I have to create one database. So this is my database. So which contains the information is in the form of tables. So this table, what is the table means? It contains rows and columns. So it contains only two columns. So the first one is serial number and next one is the name. Okay, I am storing the information serial number and some name. Okay, so this is also stored in the where? Hard disk. This is also stored in the hard disk via the file system. Via the file system. So if you are using the Windows operating system, the file system name is NTFS file system. Okay. So both are same. Here we are using a file, here we are using the database. So you are using the file system and the next it stores in the hard disk. So the database also interacts with the file system and it stores in the hard disk. Then what is the difference between both of these? So the one of the major difference between the file processing and the database is whenever the data is stored in the file system, it just stores is in the form of raw data. So the data is in the form of raw data. So what is the meaning of raw data? So raw data means having no structure. No structure. That means the data is in the form of raw data. Raw data is nothing but it has no structure. That means it is a flat file. Flat files. So the file based processing structure in the hard disk having no structure. So no structure. But whereas in database it follows a structure. So already we are following one structure here. So what is the structure? Is relational structure. Okay, table. Okay, so table contains rows and columns. So in database system it follows a structure. It follows a structure. So this is the actual differences, the major difference between the file based system and the database system. Okay, so this is a file based processing system and this is a database system. Okay, and the next related to the file system, that is basic terminology of file system. File system. So first one, what is a file, what is a record, and what is a field. Okay, so what is a file? Collection of related records are called file. Collection of related records are called file. Then what is a record? A logical connected set of one or more fields is called the record. Okay, so the logical connection between set of one or more fields, we call it as a record. Okay, so logical connection of one or more fields, we call it as a field. Okay, sorry, record. So what is the meaning of a field? Okay, a character or group of characters, we call it as a field. Okay, a character or group of characters, we call it as a field. So what is a file? Collection of related records are called the file. What is a record? Logical connection of one or more fields is called the record. What is a field? The character or group of character which has some meaning. Okay, which has some specific meaning. We call it as a field. Okay, so let us discuss with an example. So for example, this is a file. This is another file. And so on, we have n files. So this is application program, application 1. So this is application 2. And this is application N. So application N. So these are the users. Which is users can access these files via the application programs. So this is a one file. We have to write an application program for this file only. This is the file 2. So we have to write another application program. If you have n files, we have to write n number of applications here. Okay. So n files contains n application programs. All these files are accessed by the end users. All these are the end users. Okay. So these users can access this file. But whereas in file system, what about this is the file system? What about the database system? Okay. So in the database system, all these files are stored and integrated in one single file. So this is the database system. This is database system. So this is the database. Okay. So this is the database. So which contains metadata and a set of files For example, I want to store customer, sales, inventory files. So these are the user defined files. That means end user files, end user data. So the database contains what? Metadata and also end user data. Okay. So how can we access these files? Via DBMS software. Via DBMS software. So the DBMS software interacts with this database. Okay. So we have different users. Okay. So for example, personal users can use this database, sales persons to access the sales information, and inventory details. So customers can access this database. Okay, so we are integrated all these files. We are integrated all these files in one database and accessed via the DBMS software. So these are the end users which is used the DBMS software and access all these files. Okay, next one. So there are some drawbacks of the file-based system. So drawbacks of the file-based system are so what are the drawbacks of the file system? In file processing system, every file has a various operations it can perform, various operations. So in the file based processing, the drawbacks are, first one is uncontrolled redundancy of data. Uncontrolled redundancy of data. What is the meaning of redundancy? Redundancy is nothing but duplication. Duplication. Okay. In file-based system, duplication is a very serious problem to store the data. Okay. So the major drawbacks of redundancy are, so due to redundancy, it leads to the waste of storage space. Storage space. If storage space increases, automatically cost will increase. Okay, the accessing time will increase due to the redundancy. And next one is leads to the data integrity. Data integrity. So integrity means what? We does not maintain correct data due to the redundancy in file system. We have to maintain correct data in the file system, but it is suffers from redundancy. So these two are the major problems. One is to waste the storage space, and next one is data integrity. Okay, and next one is inconsistency of data. What is inconsistency? So inconsistency problem in the file system due to redundancy. Okay, inconsistency means what? We does not maintain consistent data, reliable data. So due to redundancy, the inconsistency may occur. That means the same information is stored in different locations. Inconsistency means what? The same information is stored in different locations. So for example, in a hospital, the patient information is stored in both the different files. So in different files it may store. Okay. So which leads the inconsistency and mismatching results. Okay. So in file system, inconsistency problem is very serious. Okay. We cannot maintain inconsistency within the file system. Okay. And next one, data dependence. Data dependence. What is data dependence? So here the application programs are depend on the data. Okay. The application programs are depend on data. So based upon the data we have to write the program. Okay. So if any modification done in the application program, can automatically it will change in the data and vice versa. So if you change the data, automatically we can change in the application program also. Okay. So the data is dependent in the file system, not independent. But whereas in database it is independent. Okay. So already you see the objectives of the DBMS, data independence concept. So here in file system the data is dependent. That means if you make any changes in the data, then it automatically changes in the application program. Okay. Next one. Next one. So inflexibility of the file system. So what is inflexibility? So the file-based system, the structure, if you change the structure, automatically it changes in the application programs. So that is the inflexibility of the file system. Okay. So we are not flexible to this environment. Okay. If you make any changes in the data, we can automatically change it in the application program. If you change the structure, any structure, automatically it changes the all the application programs. For example, if you each application programs was developed by a different group of people. Each application program, a number of application programs are designed by number of people. Each person can maintain its own data. Okay. If any one of the person can change, it automatically reflects its file system. Okay. So it is a very serious problem in the file system, that is inflexible of the file system. Okay. And next one. Poor enforcement of standards. Okay. So what is the poor enforcement of standards? So here there is no standards we are not using. Okay. That means here number of application programs are designed by number of persons, number of group of people. Okay. Each group follows its own data, its own way of designing. Okay. So like the way of defining the fields, the way of defining the width of the field, all these are having no standards in the file-based system. Okay, there is no standards. So every group having its own standard, he or she can maintain it. Okay, so that is called the poor enforcement of standards. Okay, and next one is data sharing. Data sharing. Here sharing is not possible in the file system because the files are decentralized manner. Okay, so here sharing is not possible. Okay, because all these files are in decentralized manner, that's why data sharing is not possible in the file system. Okay, and next one, data security. So the security in the file system has poor security standards. There is no proper standards here, we are not maintaining for security features. Okay, so and next one is limited data access. Here accessing is limited. Okay, so because we are maintaining decentralized manner, so data accessing is very less in the file based system. Okay, and next one is low programmer productivity. Low program productivity. So low program productivity is nothing but it is a measure to time taken to develop an application. Okay, so programming productivity means what? So the time taken to develop an application is known as the productivity. If the time taken is low, okay, it is a good programming productivity. If time taken is high, it is the low productivity. Okay, so vice versa. Okay, so the programming productivity is low in the file system. Okay, next step. Excessive programming maintenance. Excessive programming maintenance. And the last one is excessive programming maintenance. We are using excessive programming. Okay, for every application we have to write more and more applications to maintain the data within the file. So we have to use very excessive maintenance for storing the data within the file based processing system. Okay, so these are some of the drawbacks within the file based system. Okay, so later on we are discussing about advantages of database system. Okay, thank you. The next concept is advantages of DBMS. So in the previous we are already discussed about the file system and its drawbacks. Okay, then what are the advantages of DBMS? So what is the main purpose of the DBMS? First you have to know. Okay, so the DBMS is the intermediary between end users and the database. Okay, so it is an interface between the end users and the database. So for example, so this is the database. So this is the database which stores metadata and the end users files. So like I am storing one customer file, sales file and inventory file. So these are the end users data. End users data. Okay, this is the DBMS software. Database Management System software. So this database management system software interacts with the database. Okay. So the DBMS integrates all the user views into a single view. Okay. So it integrates. So every number of users are present. So number of views are present. Okay. So different persons having different views. Different people having different views. Okay. So all these views are combined together and it forms a single view and presented in the database. Okay. So this is the single view of data. So it integrated view. Okay, single integrated view. It can store the data. So all these are the end users. So all these are the end users. So the end users can access the data with the help of the DBMS software only. Okay. So always the end users sends the request to the database, sends the request. So sends the request, that means always the end user sends a query to the DBMS. The DBMS can execute the query, execute the request and sends the data back to the end user. Okay. So whatever data required by the end user, the DBMS can process that request and sends back to the end users. Okay. So the number of end users sends the request and sends the data to the end users. So this is the actual procedure done in database. Okay. So the DBMS is an intermediary or interface between the end users and the database. Okay. So always the DBMS can access the number of requests or number of queries by the end users. Okay. Next one. So what are the main advantages of the DBMS? Okay. So what are the advantages? The first one. So in a file system, we are already seen. So some of the drawbacks within the file processing system. What are the drawbacks within the file processing system? Uncontrolled redundancy of data. In the file system, we are not controlling the redundancy. But whereas in database system, we can control the redundancy. So controlled or reduced data redundancy. Reduced the data redundancy. We can reduce. Okay. So we can reduce the data redundancy. What is the meaning of data redundancy? So duplication we have to eliminate. How can we eliminate the redundancy? With the help of one of the DBMS concept that is called normalization process. Okay. With the help of the normalization process, we can eliminate the redundancy from the database. Okay. So normalization process. Normalization process, we can eliminate the redundancy, data redundancy. Okay. Next one. So in file system, due to redundancy, we have inconsistency of data. Okay. Inconsistency of data can be presented. That means the same data can be maintained in different files. Okay. So that is which leads to data inconsistency. But whereas in database there is no inconsistency. Okay. It must and should maintain consistency of data. Consistency of data. Okay. So because we are using centralized data, we have to maintain the consistency of data. Okay. The consistency can be maintained in DBMS with the help of some keys. What are the keys we have? One is the primary key, unique key, okay, not null key, check constraints, check key. Okay, so primary key, foreign key, not null, check constraint. So all these are the different constraints in the DBMS. With the help of this DBMS, we have to maintain it within the database consistency. So, and integrity can be maintained with the help of these constraints. Okay, so the consistency means what? You have to maintain the reliable data, correct data. So the correct data can be maintained with the help of these constraints. What are the constraints? Primary key, unique key, not null, and check constraints. Okay, and next one. In file system, the data is dependent. The data is dependent. But whereas in database system, the data is independent or independent. Okay, so already we discussed in the objectives of DBMS, data redundancy is there. Data independence. So we have two types of independences are there. One is logical data independence and physical data independence. The data is independent. That means the data does not depend on the application program. But whereas in file system, the data is depend on the application programs. If you make any changes in the data, automatically we can change in the application program also. So in database, the data does not depend on the application program. So if any modification done on the data, just you have to change on the SQL queries only. Okay, just you have to change the query and access the data within the database. No need to change in the application program. That is data independence here. Okay. So data independence. Okay, and next one is backup and recovery. Backup and recovery. So backup and recovery can be done with the help of the DBMS software. Okay, what is the meaning of backup? For example, if your transaction is going, okay, suddenly it breaks the system or failure the system. It suddenly breaks the process. Okay, so the data within the database must be consistent. Okay, so the backup and recovery procedures can take the data, goes back to its consistent state. Okay, the transaction always must be in the consistent state. Okay, so backup and recovery. If the data is lost, no need to worry. So it can be recovered and get back to the data in the consistent state. Okay, that is called the backup and recovery. So we can back up the data. Okay, so if the data is lost, we can recover it by using some algorithms. Okay. Next one. So data sharing. Data sharing. Data sharing. So data sharing is nothing but, so in file system, data is in decentralized manner. That's why we are not sharing your data. Okay. But whereas in database, the data is in centralized manner, we can share your data efficiently. Okay, so data sharing is possible in database, but whereas data sharing is not possible in the file system because of data is decentralized manner. So in database, the data is centralized manner. We can access, we can share your data to number of users. Okay, next one. Next one, better enforcement of standards. Better enforcement of standards. In file system, the standard, there is no standard. It has a poor enforcement of standards. You are not maintaining. So since different applications are developed by a different group of persons. Okay, so every group of persons have its own ideas and own design process. Okay, so there is no standard. Different groups of people can design their field names, width of the field in different way. Okay, so which leads the inconsistency of data and mismatching results can be done. Okay, but whereas in database it has better enforcement of standards we have to maintain. Okay, so the standards, there are some standards in the DBMS. We must and should have to maintain the standards within the database. Okay. Next one, increased programming productivity. Increasing programming productivity. So programming productivity means, so programming productivity is a measure to the time taken to develop the application. Okay, if the time taken of the application is low, then the productivity will be increased. If the time taken is high, the productivity will be decreased in the file system. Okay, in the database system, sorry. So increasing programming productivity is very efficient in the database system. Okay. And next one is improved data access. Improved data access. So accessing is very efficient in database because the data is in centralized manner. Okay, so multiple users can access your data simultaneously. Okay, so concurrency control can be done with the help of the database. Okay, so simultaneously number of users can access your data. For example, SBI Bank. Okay, so the bank database can be accessed by a number of customers. Okay, so all the customers can make some transactions on the same database. Okay, so improve data access. And next, security. Data security. So security means what? Okay, so in file system there is no proper security features. But whereas in database we have so many security features. That means only authorized users can access your data. Unauthorized users cannot access your data. Okay. So already you know who are the authorized users and who are the unauthorized users. The persons having permissions, that persons are called the authorized users. The persons does not having permissions, that persons are called unauthorized users. So the security can be enforced by using passwords here. Okay. So passwords can be maintained by database administrator. Very important component in database is database administrator. So we call it as a DBA. Okay. So the database administrator is a person which controls the database and maintain it properly and maintain security to the database. Okay, so data security. And next one, improved decision making. Improved decision making. So decisions can be taken with the help of the DBMS. So within the database we can maintain the data. Okay, not only present data, it maintains the historical data also. Okay, with the help of the historical data, we can take decisions on that data within the database. Okay, so these are some of the advantages of database management system. So one is the reduction of redundancy, consistency of data, so data independence, backup and recovery, data sharing, better enforcement of standards, increasing programming productivity, improved data access, data security, and improved decision making. So these are some of the advantages of database management system. I hope you are understanding this concept. Thank you. So the next concept is data models. Data models. What is data model? Okay. So already we have a data. Okay. So the data having, it is a raw data. Okay. Which there is no proper shape to the data. But data model, what is the meaning of data model is, it is a graphical representation of the data. So what is the data model? The graphical representation of the data. So the pictorial representation of the data we call it as a data model. That means to give a proper shape to the data, we call it as a data model. So data model is a communication tool. Okay, so data model is a communication tool. So in between various users, application programmers, and the end users and the designers. Okay, so it is a communication tool so the data models are the used as a communication tool. Okay, so it acts as an interface. It facilitates an interface between the end users, database programmers, and the designers. Okay, so interaction, it provides interaction between database designers, application programmers, and end users. Okay, so it facilitates the interaction between the database designers, application programmers, and the end users. So the data is a graphical representation. It is a pictorial representation of the data. Okay, so the very first data model is the file system. File. First data model is the file. So in 1968 we are using file system. In 1960s we are using the file system. So examples of the file systems are VSM. So mainly used on the IBM mainframes. So it maintains only records, not relationships. Okay, the file system is mainly used to create the records only, not the relationships. Okay, so in 1970s we are using hierarchical data model. The next data model is hierarchical data model. So hierarchical data model at the time of Apollo rocket launching, so there is no proper data structure to maintain the data. Okay, so Apollo rocket is landed on the moon in 1970s. Okay, there is no proper data structure to maintain the data. Okay, at the time they need one data structure to represent the data. So they can take the structure is hierarchical data model. So its structure is a tree-like structure. Okay, tree-like structure. What is a tree-like structure? So it has the one parent. So all these are the children. So it is a parent child relationship. So all these are the records. So this is one record, this is another record, this is another record. So all these are the records. So in between the records, what is the relationship? Is one to many relationship here exists. One to many relationship. So here only one parent, many children. One parent, many children. So the relationship between the records are one to many relationship. Okay. In hierarchical data model, it does not support, it does not maintain many to many relationship. It does not, it can maintain only one to many relationship. It does not maintain many to many relationship. Okay. So here some disadvantages are there. What are the disadvantages of hierarchical data model? So it does not support the many to many relationship. And navigational records are complex here, and that means the moving of records are complex here. Okay, so we does not move the records from one place to the another place. Okay, and next one is the next data model is network data model. So in the hierarchical data model, we are maintaining one parent, many children. That means parent and child relationship here exists. But whereas in network model, the relationship between the records is one to many. Okay, so and it has one relationship that exists, that is owner and the member relationship. Each member has more than one owner. Each member has more than one owner. It can be maintained in the network model. Okay. So, for example, these two are the records and this is one record. So this record having two owners. Okay. So what is the relationship between one to many relationship? It can exist. Okay. So a record that having more than one owner, we call it as a network data model. Okay. So what are the advantages of network data model? It supports many to many relationship. It supports many to many relationship. And data independence is supported in the network model. Data independence, and it supports the relationships between the records can be maintained in the network data model. Okay, and it supports the DDL, DML languages. Okay, data definition language and data manipulation languages can be supported in the network model. So it has some disadvantages. So what are the disadvantages? So navigation records are complex here. Okay, that means we are not moving the records from one location to the another location. So structural changes can be done, can affect the entire structure. If you are changing one record, it completely affects the other records in the network model. Okay, so hierarchical model and network model. Okay, so in the hierarchical model, the structure is a tree-like structure, and in network model, the structure is owner and the member relationship. It can be maintained. Okay, next one. After that, in 1970s, In 1970s, E.F. Codd introduced another data model that is called the relational data model. What is the relational data model? The data is in the form of tables. We call it as a relational data model. Okay, the data is in the form of tables. That is, a table contains number of rows and columns. Okay, so this relational database concept can be taken from the mathematical concept relations. Okay, relations. So in the relational data model, the relationship can be maintained in between the tables. Okay, the relations can be maintained in between the tables. So with the help of some keys like primary key and the foreign key, we have to maintain the relationship between the tables. Okay, so relational data model introduced by E.F. Codd in 1970s. Okay, relation is nothing but table. Okay, next one. Next data model, entity relationship model. Entity relationship data model. Okay, so what is entity and what is relationship data model? Okay, so in 1976, Peter Chen, in 1976, Peter Chen introduces the entity relationship model. Okay, so the ER model can be composed with entities and as well as relations. There are majorly three components in the ER data model. Okay, so what are the three major components? One is entity, next one attribute, next one relationship. Okay, so entity, attribute, relationship. So what is entity? So entity is nothing but it is a real world object. We call it as an entity. So it is a real world object. Okay, an entity can be represented by the symbol rectangle. Okay, so the rectangle symbol is used to represent the entity. That means the real world object. So for example, student is a person. Okay, student is a person, it is a real world object. So we call it as an entity. An entity can be represented by the symbol rectangle. So every entity has a name. Every entity has a name. The name is indicated inside the rectangle. For example, employee. Employee. Employee is a person. Okay. So that's why employee, we take it as an entity. Okay. Next one. What is an attribute? Okay. The properties or characteristics of an entity is called an attribute. The property or characteristics of an entity. Okay. For example, student. Student is a person. Okay. We take it as an entity. Every student has some properties. What are the properties of a student? Every student has an ID, that is roll number, okay, name, marks, address, phone number, email ID. All these are the properties of a student. So we called it as a attributes. Okay. So the attributes can be represented by the symbol oval or ellipse. Okay. Oval or ellipse can be used. So this is the oval symbol. Okay. So for example, we are using student ID. So student ID is the property of the student. Okay. So that is the attribute. Next one, relationship. The association among the entities, we call it as a relationship. So what is the relationship? The association among the entities, we call it as a relationship. Okay. The relationship in the ER model can be represented by a symbol by symbol diamond. Diamond symbol we are used. Okay. So diamond symbol. So this is the diamond symbol or rhombus. Okay. So relationship is the association among the entities. Okay. It can be represented by the symbol diamond. Okay. So here relationships are of three types. Okay. So what are the relationships? One is one-to-one relationship. One-to-one relationship. One-to-many relationship. And many-to-many relationship. So one-to-one relationship, one-to-many relationship, many-to-many relationship. Okay, so entity relationship data model introduced by Peter Chen in 1976. It mainly depends on three major components. One is entity, and next one is attribute and the relationship. So with the help of these three components, we can develop the ER diagrams, ERD. Okay, so ER diagrams can be developed with these three components. One is entity, attribute and relationship. Okay, and next another data model is OODM, object oriented data model. So in object oriented data model is composed of everything we can take it as an object. An object is a real world component, so that can contains the value to represent the data. Okay, so in object oriented data model, the data is represented and presented in the database. Okay, so these are the different data models presented in the database DBMS. Okay, I hope you are understand this concept. Thank you.